Yo, what's up, fools? Today, since I have a tough time getting anyone to review my music, I am going to review my own album. So, here we go. I'm starting off. I'm doing it the style where I listen to it and then comment on it. Track 1. This is Fuck Being Polite / Parental Advice. So that's the first half of the first song. Here's the second half. Fuck. It's fucked up. I just have a bleeding zit. Oh my god. Okay, so right off the bat, things take... I'm gonna cover that up. Right off the bat, things take an interesting turn with the, Powerpuff Girls intro, with, and the blast beat or break beat or whatever. And it's an interesting start to the whole album. Just sets a tone for a very kind of cartoonish, but fun, but also kind of moody listen with the sirens. And then the track, so the first track is Fuck Being Polite and Parental Advice. So the first half is Fuck Being Polite, which has kind of a stupid name, but aside from like mixing issues and kind of a general theme throughout the album is mixing issues here and there, but apart from that, it has pretty interesting lyrics about how you can control your thoughts. So it kind of just sets the tone by saying like, hey, you can control your thoughts. And I like a lot of the main melodies here. I like pretty much all the instrumental melodies and the main vocal melody. And then there's that little "It's Up to You." I like that a lot. I personally, as the creator of the album, I got that from the Specials. There's a Specials song called "It's Up to You" that I got that from. One, it has these little bubble noises. These little bubble noises that I enjoy because they're sparsely used, but I could see how some listeners might get annoyed by that. But then it's nice, it kind of fades out, it doesn't stay for very long. It fades out, and then another song just starts, so it's just straight. So I've discovered that this can freeze really fast, so sorry for the shaky quality. Anyway, back to Parental Advice. It kind of starts off with this like computer startup thing, which is nice. That's really nice. And then it kind of goes into the vocals, which I think kind of takes away from the song, sadly. But it's an interesting vocal line, and just the whole idea of like you didn't have to be so fucked up. And the song is called Parental Advice. Is a nice touch. It's nice commentary on like parental relationships. But I think the vocals are maybe some of the weakest in the track list here. Definitely one of my favorite songs, strangely, from the album is this first track, in spite of its flaws, really. But I'm gonna listen to Fantasy. So that one's really interesting. That's kind of like it's almost like, it could be like a 60s song, but it's so obviously not, with all the instruments that are being used, all the kind of tinny, kind of like obviously programmed drum instruments. And the lyrics on here are some of my favorite, with the whole kind of dichotomy of this girl who's like inviting you over and spending a lot of time with you and clearly enjoys your company, but then doesn't really want to pursue a relationship, and then you don't know why. And at the end you kind of have to acknowledge that maybe you were part of someone's fantasy, and that's why the song is called Fantasy. There's kind of a mastering issue on this track, but I don't think anyone would notice, except maybe the biggest audiophiles. And it has some of the most perfect sequencing on this album, I think, in one song, where just every part sort of comes when you need it to, and then it doesn't stay very long. It's like less than 2 minutes. But I don't know, something about this song, I like this song a lot. It just doesn't stand at the top of my favorites. It's just it's a fun track with some interesting lyrics. Next song is Lost in the Daydream. So that one's Lost in the Daydream. That's a really interesting one. I'm gonna try to review these as if I don't know much about these songs from this point on. Just kind of like go with my gut reaction based on the listen. Although I've listened to this a few times, so I'll kind of keep that in mind that I've listened to this a lot of times. But I'll try to keep it like I won't bring up the context too much. The context that only I know, that like another listener wouldn't know. But let's see, Lost in the Daydream. This one's interesting. I feel like the textures on this one are some of my favorite on the album. Texture of like the guitar with that snare, that just like the reverbed out snare. That's really nice. And the kind of like background voices. And Benta's vocals are so beautiful. If you didn't know, you probably wouldn't immediately pick up that was the feature. The woman who's singing on most of this track is Benta Violet. And those vocals are really beautiful. I love the way the harmonies mesh in this track. The flow is kind of strange. It's not normal at all. It kind of doesn't ever go where you expect it to, or it kind of does at some points, but then doesn't at other points. Which seems like a bit of an artistic risk, but it pays off. I think, especially in the last 20 seconds when the guitars come in, when the electric guitars come in, and then it kind of just hits this like euphoric high of these like twinkly guitars. As with everything on this album, it's just kind of a mess. Like everything about this album is just kind of a huge mess. Like not in a bad way, but just in a very messy kind of like splatter like ideas. Okay, so that everywhere song, kind of way. The Day That We Died. I love that song. It's great. It's got like some sibilance issue. That's honestly kind of a bummer. I love that song. I think that song is like perfect. And the sibilance issue does kind of get in the way, though. I'm not gonna lie. But you know what? I'm fucking sick. I'm sick of this gimmick. This is fun, but it's stupid. I'm not gonna review my whole album. There's 12 more songs on it, and it's like I'm not even halfway through, and I look so grimy. I'm just disappointed in myself for letting myself get so pudgy. Like a something. I don't know, dude. I'm not gonna sit here and review my album. This is a stupid idea, but but it's good if you'd like to check it out. It's cool. 10 out of 10 for me. You know, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real with the score on this one. I would give this a 9 out of 10, which is pretty nice and generous to myself. But I think that's where I'd probably put this album at. I think it's a good album. Maybe one day I'll feel like it's a 10 out of 10. Maybe one day my opinion will grow, and then I'll be like, this is a 6. But I don't think so. I just genuinely don't think so. I think it's a good album. There are other albums of mine that I would consider maybe lower scores than this one. But I don't really like scoring music anyway. I used to be more into that. Not after getting into the whole Kanye discography where I feel like multiple albums could be a 10. It's like, okay. Most albums that I hear I feel like are a 5, so I don't know. Yeah, that's my album. It's called Collection 1, Trust by Isaac Isaiah, me. And yeah, I don't know, I guess I'll kind of leave you with like the highlight tracks. You know, Lost in the Daydream is great, Gazer is great, Scott Pilgrim is great, Day That We Died is great, Toxic's cool, Campfire Mesh from Rural Internet is on there, Zombie is their new name, I'm not sure what their pronouns are, but that one's cool. Call Drops / Waves is great highlight track in there. Apathetic, a lot of people like that one. My homie Ella, her name is Ella. My homie Ella, this is new, so I'm not like dead naming someone who I've known their new name for 2 years, but that one's cool. She produced that. That's fire. I like that. A lot of people, that's their favorite. Slip Away is my favorite song that I've ever done. The Queen is great. Channel 62 produced that. Claire is maybe my least favorite, but the second half of it is one of my favorites, Waiting on You. Night Song, I don't know, I like that song a lot, but some people really hate that song. Pit Spiral is another one that I really like. It's just kind of a serviceable cut. There's a different version of it on SoundCloud that I like too a lot. Sun Song, one of my favorites, featuring R.L. Moores. R.L. Moores produced the beat on that. He did a great job. That one's great. Trust is another one that I really like, but I think I've just heard it a lot of times. And I feel like if you can listen to a song a bunch of times and you can get tired of it, it's kind of a sign that song maybe wasn't one of your favorites. There's certain songs in here that are old that I just never get tired of. And then New Babylon is great. Definitely a highlight. And now the thing is freezing up on me. So I'll just say, give this album a listen. If you enjoyed it, let me know. That's all I gotta say. Peace.